Hey, hey, ho, ho. Look at or how those Bernie Sanders supporters say. I'm a Donald Trump supporter, and I want to spend a few minutes saying why exactly, and talk about all that racism and other crime that's going on. And I'm gonna start with the really funny one. I just watched a whole bunch of video about it, and it was a black gentleman, African American gentleman, and I really like his point, and he's a Trump supporter as well. I like the point when he said, "Well, look at the Asians, right? He said they only hire Asians," and that's what I want to start from. Like, wherever you live, I'm sure you have one Chinese restaurant around you for sure. And go in there and take a look if you can find any black or white American or yellow American or the red American. See if you can find one. Well, I mean, the yellow American, that's what Chinese supposed to be yellow, I guess, right? That's what they call them, but he might be a citizen. But you're only gonna find a Chinese person in there. And you can try to fill out the application yourself. And if you live there, let's say you're gonna be living there for the next 5 years, you can start filling out the application for 5 years in a row every day if you want to, because they cannot deny you not to give you your application. But you can fill in out an application 5 years in a row, and you can see maybe how five Chinese will be changing there in the kitchen by that time, but they're not gonna give you a call back and hire your ass. So I'm assuming, I guess Chinese are racist too. We should, I guess, start something against them too, because they're racist. Every Asian is racist, because in a Japanese restaurant, it's gonna be Japanese working. You see, they're leaving your ass off the street. They're not giving you employment. Even they come in here and open up, starting the business. Because you can see Chinese restaurant all over. One is right next to me. I don't know. It seems like to be a mob headquarters, because there's a parking lot always empty, and somehow they're making money. There is no people out there. I, my girlfriend was stupid enough to get some Chinese food from them. We both got sick, but they somehow in the business. So it's either whatever's going on out there. I don't know. I'm not gonna claim, but it's not the point. The point is about Donald Trump, and I see a lot of people. I was specifically looking for the videos that the black people would support the Trump. Reason I was looking, I don't know why. I'm Russian American, right? But what I mentioned, that I never been in the politics before. I've been here 11 years. I never just paid attention on the politics. So the first year I actually did, and and then I realized that the black people always been backing Democrats, because they believe to. That's what I learned just this year, because they believe to the Democrats always do something good for people. You know, like a good Samaritanians, or whatever you say that. But then when I heard that, I'm like, huh? I'm a fucking poor too. I'm making like a little bit above the minimum wage. Funny thing, I was making about the same money, same dollars an hour, 7 years ago. From 7 years ago, nothing changed. So, oh, it was more than that. It was 9 years ago. I was making this. So, it was a Democrat out there. So it seems like, maybe I have to be black. And I guess, well, then who the racist is then? So I'm not making any more than I was making 9 years ago. Well, partially that, because you can say you can go to college and you can improve your thing, but what if I don't? Somebody have to do the physical job, right? So that's what I am. I always liked, my father was a miner, my mom was a railroad worker, my grandfather was a welder on one side. I prefer to stay physically working. So, but I don't see no increasement in the payment. And Ireland, and I was Democrat, so that's what I got surprised. I'm like, well, why they keep backing them up if nothing changes? I don't know who the Republican are either. I don't know what they stands for. I kind of didn't learn it. But what I did learn, well, I learned it back in Ukraine, because in the school, we used to have American history, because it's a world power country, and you have to know. And potential enemy would say it was program was still back from the Soviet Union, so you have to learn about your potential enemy. And we even learned that Abraham Lincoln, which was Republican, that freed the slaves, the Democrat, vote against civil rights. The Hillary Clinton barely kissing black people asses, African American people asses, just asking for the vote. I mean, it probably feels nice to get kissed in the ass, I guess, or whatever, but what you gonna get from that? Later on, is she gonna do anything? It's not to the black people at all, it's to the Bernie supporters or whatever. I just barely don't understand. They never done anything for you, so how you keep going the same direction? And I see, so that's what I'm saying. I specifically was looking, some people awaken, maybe they get paid, I don't know, maybe it is, you would be nice if they just get awakened and say, like, look, the Democrats never did nothing for us. I wasn't complaining, I was not in the politics, I was just, well, I'm still getting my whatever an hour, I'm getting my whatever an hour, 9 years it never changed. I switched to multiple jobs. I was actually making more than an hour delivering the pizza, but of course I did not pay the taxes because everybody, and I was delivering to the cops, to the 911 center, and of course they know I'm working on under the table. Nothing really. So they even actually was one time, that was actually kind of like, not happy. Why you been so late? I'm like, well, because I don't want any of your fellows giving me a ticket for speeding. You should see their faces, like, because they're hungry. Because we all people. It just doesn't matter who you are. And the reason I'm wanting, hey, behave, a little kitty. The reason I'm voting for Trump, and that's the main idea now. That's the main idea, because when I was back in Ukraine, and you can all Google it up, there used to be a president called Yanukovych. And I was there on vacation. It was 2009, so I was already living here, but I was still, America allowed you to have both citizenship, Ukrainian and I was out there by the election year, and that dude, that President Yanukovych, he barely could speak, he barely could read from the paper. He already had the speech written, but he barely could speak. But I got an intuition feeling that he gonna do something. He gonna. There's no race issue in Ukraine, so we can exclude that. We're not gonna talk. Here is everybody screaming racist, 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 but nobody can give him a simple example why he's racist. But that's another thing. But I had a feeling he's gonna do something for the country. If he gonna steal the money, yeah, I know the hell he is. He's going to, as every president does. But I have a feeling he's gonna give to the people as well. He's gonna steal not 90% in his pocket, but 40% and maybe 15% for the people. And that's exactly what happened. Was he stealing? Hell yeah, he's stealing. But he built the roads, he built the airport, he built the stadium, which is I'm gonna show, by the way, it's on my screen. That's the stadium he built. Cost him $500 million, but he built a damn stadium to bring more money into the city. And he did. And eventually they start the revolution. That's what you see right now in Ukraine. And they're saying the Russians, It is. It's the what is it? It's the um, second battalion of invisible Russian army, because for 2 years nobody have a single pictures of them. So it's like a super secret invisible battalion of Russians that keep fucking up Western Ukraine. So basically that's what it is. And and if you all believe in that, then good luck. And see, the Russian army is more advanced army in the world ever, because they have the super invisible battalions that you cannot see. Nobody can even show you a proof of that. But they're out there. They're out there. They exist. So, and like I said, that dude did. And I have a second. That's the reason, only reason I got into the politics, because I didn't know who Donald Trump is at all. My girlfriend tell me, like, oh, it's that dude, he had the Playboy. But she was actually a little bit off, actually money, knowing that time either. I'm like, I don't know, I never heard about the dude. As when he was just last year joined race for the White House. And as soon as I see the dude, I got the same intuition, same feeling about that president right there. And that president didn't end up good. He had to run for his life because he was doing good for the people, which is from history now is reminding me about the Kennedy. But that dude had to pay for his life. He actually got assassinated. It's when I compare those two little things, and I have the same intuition right here. It's actually telling me like, oh, hold on, something looked like the history repeating itself. And I have a feeling, I had an intuition feeling that he is going to do some good. It's not racist. Stop that shit. Unless you can comment underneath the video, don't tell me because he wanna ban the Muslims from that country. Look what's going on in Europe. Just take a look what's going on in Europe, and don't write it down. But anything others, if you believe anything, write it on there. I'll respond. And God bless America.